Now you tell me what is the difference between probability and fuzzy members? Fuzzy is convenient. No. My point is, when I am telling the belongingness of angle to the positive category is 80%. Can I tell instead the probability of falling in the positive category is 80%? Why? It is also playing between 0 to 1. Probability also belongs or plays between 0 to 1. Or not? So why can't I tell that the probability of falling into positive category is 80%? Both of them?
Being in the medium category or being in the positive category, both of them same probability.
No. Here it is belonging to medium is 0.2, belonging to positive is 0.7. Not necessarily summing together will be 1. But if it is a triangular one and if center to center is there, then it will be 1. Otherwise it will not be 1 even. Can I tell? Yes or no?
Probability is fixed.
Probability?
Probability is using fixed values.
Yes.
But fuzzy is not.
Probability. Suppose I will ask you probability of getting a head. If you calculate, it is 50%. If I calculate, it is also 50%. Anybody do the same sum, you will result to the final value is same. But here it is not the thing. I as the expert, suppose I design the triangular membership function with center at 6. You as the expert will design something else. So it is expert specific. It is not problem specific. Therefore, you cannot tell that it is probability. Though it is between 0 to 1, lot of confusion comes many a times that why should not we define it as a probability? But it is expert specific. Okay. So, now I will have for each value of angle, I will have belongingness to 2 classes. Can I have belongingness to more than 2 class? Yes or no? Yes, it is. In which case, if the overlap is more. Suppose I will take a Gaussian membership function for all the class. Gaussian starts from minus infinity to infinity. So, it will have crossing at each point. Therefore, you may get many numbers. You may give a threshold that if it is going below this, don't consider. But you may get. It is not necessary that only you will get 2 classes at a time. Right? But let us start with 2 class. It is easier to understand. So, I am having 2 input, angle and distance. When I am plotting this angle into the fuzzification, so here I was there first. Now I am passing this through the membership function which I draw here, and I have now here. I am now here. Okay. So I have defined now that my angle belongs to this category with this many value and this category with this many value. Right? Now you come to the rule. In the rule there is a end. So what is the meaning of that end? See, what is my rule? If the distance is medium and angle is positive small.
Both the conditions should be satisfied.
Both?
Conditions should satisfy.
Yes.
We can't take a single condition.
Yes, that's right. So when I plot the distance into the Fudgification rule, that means Fudgification membership function, I get distance belongs to, suppose distance positive is 0.9, first rule is telling what? Medium and positive small, right? So it belongs to medium with 0.9 value, it belongs to positive small with 0.8 value. Then I am having the junction that is AND, the juncture is AND. So AND operation means it is the intersection operation. So I should take the minimum between both the two. Similarly, if OR is there, it is a union operation. So I should take the maximum between the two. Okay. So based on this, I took the minimum between the two, which is 0.8 here, then 0.2 and then 0.2. So I was having 3 rules initially, and these 3 rules 1, 2, 3 are now having certain firing strength. So what is the firing strength now? The first rule is having firing strength of 0.8, second rule is having firing strength of 0.2, third rule is having firing strength of 0.1. Firing strength means what is the weight of that rule. If it is 100%, then it will contribute maximum, right? Now once you obtain this value, that is firing strength of each rule, then you go for defudgification. Another point here you may get. See, suppose when you are designing the rule, for the first rule, the consequent, here this is called as consequence. This is called as consequent, because this is going to happen. Ultimately, this is the consequence. So from that it is consequent. Okay. Now you see, here it is belonging to positive medium, here also it is belonging to positive medium. Now the first rule is telling what is the firing strength? 0.2, 0.8. Last rule is telling how much? 0.1. Now, and both the consequent are same. So what is the total firing strength then? First rule is telling my system should have 0.8 corresponding to positive medium. Third rule is telling my system should have 0.1 corresponding to positive medium. I cannot say 2 value for the positive medium. Can I give 2 value for a single class? I have to say 1. So now what I will do? You take the maximum between 0.8 and 0.1. If I am taking 0.1, then it is wrong, because the first rule is telling that you go for 0.8, but the last rule is telling 0.1. So if I am considering 0.8, then automatically I am taking care of 0.1, but the reverse is not true, right? So this is one proposition, take the maximum. In some other cases, they generally tell ki you make the sum of both the two, because both the rules are in the system. Sum it. If it exceeds 1, then limit it to 1, because no strength can go beyond 1. If it is within 1, then take the sum of these values. That means here it is 0.8 and 0.1, so take it as 0.9. So firing strength of positive medium will be 0.9. But if it is exceeding, suppose 0.8, 0.3, it is 1.1, you cannot take 1.1, so restrict it to 1. So So this is called as Lukasik OR, restricted to 1. Okay. So based on this, now you get different firing strengths. Once you get the firing strength, then you have to go for the defuzzification. Defuzzification is nothing but the centroid defuzzification generally we go for, which is nothing but your what? Center of mass concept. What is center of mass? If many masses are there, M1 is at x1, M2 is at x2, M3 is at x3, then the total mass, total centroid is M1 x1 plus M2 x2 plus M3 divided by M1 plus M2 plus M3. So like that, my first rule is 0.8, second rule is 0.2. So like that I am getting, and first rule 0.8 is the strength and it is at a distance positive B or positive medium. So you go on multiplying the value corresponding to positive medium, positive B and any other thing and find the centroid value. So this is the centroid value for these two type of rules, one here, one here. This rule is telling it belongs to positive medium with 0.8. This is telling it belongs to 0 with something. Finally what I am getting, you see, all these are 0, so these two rules are coming. Positive medium 0.8, 0.2. Okay. So positive medium it is 0.8, 0 it is 0.2. So what will be the final value? You must define a value for positive medium, and that is coming in the x-axis. And what will be the one corresponding to positive medium is decided by the expert or the user. Okay. So here it is around suppose 10. So 10 into 0.8 plus 0 into 0.2 divided by 0.8 plus 0.2. So whatever that value will be coming, that is your final crisp value of the fuzzy system. So this is the basic concept of a fuzzy control. And in fact, in my one of my paper in 1995, if you see, that is in IEEE generation, transmission, distribution, I have proved in that any fuzzy controller is a nonlinear PI controller. If you take simple KPKI, you are designing a PI controller. Now if you take this fuzzy controller, it will basically have a variation in KPKI. The effective value of KPKI will go on varying. It is not a constant. So it is a nonlinear variable PI control. Okay. So that has been proved in that, and you can see that for mathematical interpretation. Okay. So these are some of the control scheme based on fuzzy inference engine. This is the plant to which I want to control, and these are the control variables or command variables. So 3 control inputs are there, and I am getting some outputs. So this is multivariable input output relationship. Now this is given to the fuzzy inference engine, and my fuzzy inference engine give me the control output. So directly measured value is given to the fuzzy systems, and fuzzy systems gives me the output. So this is one type of fuzzy control. That is type of fuzzy controller which is direct control. Directly you get the output from the fuzzy scheme. Another sort is this one, where these are my PID controller which is already there, because for the industry people, if you tell that remove the PI and put fuzzy, it will be very difficult for them to accept it, because they don't want to remove anything, right? Another point is, PI has proved its worth in the industry. It has been used since long. So if you tell them remove it, then it is not easily acceptable. So this is another scheme where the set value of the PI controller, reference value of the PI controller, comes from the fuzzy. Instead of keeping it a fixed value, you go on changing it little bit. So your performance will improve. Okay, just like suppose I want to keep the speed of this fan at a constant value of 1000 RPM. So my reference should be 1000, then I will have a controller. This is the general scheme. Instead of keeping it at 1000, vary it little bit. 1000, that means 1050 to 950. Change it. You will get performance variation. Finally, it will definitely come to 1000. Finally, the reference will be again 1000. But in between, it will go on varying. So that is the function of this one, which is called supervisory control. The fuzzy supervises the PID control. Okay? This is another set where the PID, KP, KI and KD value is coming from the fuzzy systems. KP, KI and KD, three parameters, is coming from the fuzzy systems. Okay. Similarly, this is another one where we don't alter at all the PID controller, let that PID be in its own path, and I will generate another signal from the fuzzy and will add to the PID, a hybrid scheme. So if the industry wants, they can put it or they can remove it. If they will remove it, then it is become their original one. If they are putting it, then it becomes a hybrid. So these are some of the fuzzy controllers in the system, and this is nothing but a nonlinear PI control. Okay? Any question in this regard, I will be happy to answer. So this completes my talk on fuzzy systems.